Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you about my top 5 favorite private or exclusive lines from designer houses. So if you'd like to know which 5 are my favorites, then keep watching. So this video is kind of along the line of the same series where I talked about my favorite 5 niche houses, or 5 of my favorite niche houses. I'm going to talk about affordable, I'm going to talk about designer, but I did want to dedicate a video to the exclusive lines of designer houses because I think a lot of us in the fragrance community really get excited specifically about these lines. Now there's going to be a few on here that you're going to be like, why aren't they there? But there's very specific reasons why I chose these, and I'll get into that when I talk about them. Now for the most part, these are not in order from 1 to 5, but I do have a very definitive favorite line, and so at the very end I will tell you what my most favorite exclusive line from designers are. Now exclusive lines from designers, I have a very strict criteria when I invest or explore, or just the requirements and the expectations that I have. I first want the exclusive lines to be basically like a better version of the regular lines. I want them not to lose the heart and soul of what makes their fragrances popular and what makes people flock to their fragrances. I want to feel that DNA, that soul in the exclusive line, but I want the exclusive line to be a little bit more daring, a little bit more experimental, and at the same time obviously be a better quality. So all of these lines, for a variety of different reasons, are my favorites, and the one that almost didn't make it to this list, but I figured it deserves to be on this list as my top 5, has to do more with the variety in its entire line as well as its wearability, and that has to go to Tom Ford's Private Blend line. Now when it comes to being daring and more experimental, I actually find that his regular line tends to be a little bit more harder to wear than his private line, but his private line is so extensive, and the reason why it's one of my favorites is because it always has something that I want to wear. If I want to wear something daytime, if I want to wear something casual, if I want to wear something super feminine, super masculine, androgynous, unisex, you know, there's a variety of different fragrances. I mean, his line is extensive and they're always adding new things, so there's always something for me to wear, and that makes me really happy and pleased, because a lot of times some of these private lines, they don't have a very extensive library of fragrances, so you kind of got to go to, maybe I'll wear this today, maybe I'll wear this today. With Tom Ford, he pretty much has you covered in all different aspects, and I really appreciate that. On top of it, I just generally enjoy his fragrances everywhere and anyway, and I also generally like his presentation and the general quality of the juice, which is why Tom Ford's Private Blend made it to my top 5. And to represent the private line, I brought my favorite from the line, which is what all of these are. I just brought my favorite to show you. Neroli Portofino still owns my heart. It is just so dang good. Butcher this name, please forgive me, but this line to me has to have some of the most impeccably beautiful juice, beautiful presentation, and just overall the fragrances are classic and elegant and stunning. That comes from Guerlain, and it's L'Art et la Matière, and if I mispronounce that, please forgive me. And I only have 1 bottle from this line. I do have a variety of decants and samples until I decide other ones I want to purchase, and the one that I own, or the only one I have currently, I will be getting more, is Angelique Noir. Now what I love about this fragrance is that to me this is what I was kind of encapsulating about what I want these private lines to be perfectly. When I think of Guerlain fragrances, I think of very elegant, easy to wear, very beautiful fragrances. Even their more masculine fragrances tend to me to pull a little bit more on the feminine side, and I'm just purely talking about how fragrances are marketed. There's a lot of feminine aspects to their fragrances, except for maybe their vetiver fragrance. But what I love specifically about this line has to do with the fact that they are all completely cohesive. Every single one from this line really fits well together as like a perfect library or additions of each other, but at the same time it is a higher quality and a little bit more inspired than their normal fragrances, which are already outstanding fragrances. They're just really uniquely beautiful. The quality of this juice is incredible, and it is on the pricier side, but it is well worth checking out. And this is most definitely one of my top 5 exclusive or private lines from a designer house. Now, this next one coming up I talk about extensively on my channel, specifically about the eau de toilette versions than the eau de parfums, and it has to do with Chanel's Les Exclusives line. Obviously I have Sycamore here. This is my holy grail. This is my baby. I am very protective and I'm very stingy with this, I know. But this fragrance and this entire line, specifically the eau de toilettes, I think are very uniquely beautiful and definitively Chanel, minus maybe Belle Respiro and number 18. They're all really beautiful, elegant, mature, and sophisticated scents, but they all have a really beautiful balance between having the complexity that Chanel is known for while also being very wearable. And to me, these are truly unisex fragrances. Most of them can be worn effortlessly and easily between people who prefer masculine fragrances or feminine fragrances. You can really go either way, minus 1 or 2. But overall, the entire experience of these fragrances is gorgeous. There's a really quality juice. They're absolutely beautiful, and each fragrance tells a story, and I really love that. Now, I do prefer the eau de toilettes over the eau de parfums, but I am trying to get a little bit more knowledge and experience and sampling, and I mean excessively sampling the eau de parfums, because if I'm going to sit here and say I prefer the eau de toilettes, I want to be able to at least have really tried and worn so that I can say this is different than this and this is why I prefer this over this. But generally overall, the entire line is stunning and well worth exploring if you haven't had the opportunity to, and I definitely think that it deserves a top spot on my top 5. Now, this number 4, and again, not number 4, but this was almost number 1, and I keep going back and forth, but there's a reason why my number 1 is my number 1. And so my number 4, one of my top 5 exclusive lines, is from Lancôme. You guys, this is such an underrated line. It is so ridiculously beautiful. Now, whenever I wear these fragrances, I get more compliments when I wear any of these fragrances than any other fragrances I wear. I get compliments from other fragrance enthusiasts, compliments from my husband, compliments from random strangers. I mean, it is incredible how many unsolicited compliments I get when I wear these fragrances. These fragrances are impressive, these fragrances are beautiful, and they're just a joy to wear. Now, what I like about the line itself is there is a variety of different noses that are all very distinguished and masters in their own right, and they came together and they each created their own fragrance to basically pay tribute to the founder of Lancôme. And kind of like how Zoologist has its cohesion through a variety of different noses, there's a cohesion with all of these fragrances that I really enjoy. If you like one, you might generally like all the others. On the same time, the quality of these juices is just tremendous, and the presentation is just gorgeous. I love them, and I like heavier scents, and I like sweeter scents, and I love gourmand scents, and every single one of these fragrances pretty much hits every single note, which is why this is most definitely one of my favorite fragrances to wear, and I get very excited to wear them. It's most easily in my top 5. Now, the reason why my number 1 is number 1 is because this is kind of what started it all in regards to really exploring and being excited for designer exclusive lines, and it is Armani Privé. Now, Armani Privé has to be my favorite line because although it's not as cohesive as, say, Lancôme or Guerlain, or doesn't have the variety of Tom Ford, I really love every single one of these fragrances in and of itself as its own particular little solar system in the universe that is a fragrance. I love Vetiver Babylon. I think it's been renamed. Rose Alexandria, Rose d'Europe, the New York one right now just completely blew me away. Every single one of these fragrances to me is just exceptional. And to be perfectly honest, when it comes down to Armani fragrances, I'm not the hugest fan. There's a reason why you don't see that many in my collection. It's not that I don't like them, they just don't excite me. But the private line, this is kind of like what I'm talking about. The private line just is leaps and bounds above its regular fragrances. and it kind of makes me want to explore their regular line as well. And the thing is like when it comes down to a private line, this was the first one that got me excited. This is the first one that got me exploring fragrances. And in a lot of ways, aside from my experience working at a fragrance counter a long time ago, this is the first house that really gave me the confidence to explore more expensive and luxurious fragrances. So I've got to say that I just absolutely owe a lot of my passion and my enthusiasm for fragrances to this line, and it has to do with the quality and the craftsmanship behind each of these fragrances, which is why I absolutely love this line. And I have to give it props for that and give it a #1 spot because of that, because I owe a lot of it to this fragrance line, and I just absolutely love it. There is something for everybody. They are on the more expensive side and it is hard to sample, but if you have the opportunity to explore this line, please do. They're just absolutely incredible fragrances and I just love them to bits. Now there are a few lines here that get honorable mentions just really quickly. The Hermessence line I love, but I haven't explored nearly enough. The Dior Privé line, I have loves and hates from there, but I think that the loves in there are absolute masterpieces. And the Atelier de la Givenchy, the Givenchy's private line, or Givenchy de l'Atelier, I keep on getting it mixed up. That is just another line that is absolutely incredible and well worth checking out. So these are my top 5 exclusive lines, guys. I hope you like this video. I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you guys like my picks? Do you not like my picks? What are your favorite exclusive lines and why? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, guys, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like these videos and my channel in general, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this, and also don't forget to subscribe because it's free and I'm free. And I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time.